everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I have a very exciting video for you guys today. It is Trunk Club versus Stitch Fix. I am going to go through all of my pros and cons of both. I have only tried Trunk Club once and I've done Stitch Fix for about 6 months, and I feel like I already know enough to give you guys enough information and enough opinion. Let's get into this. First up, I'm going to go over my pros and cons of Stitch Fix. And this is going to sound a little negative, but it is what it is. This is my opinion and my experience with it. For Stitch Fix, I think the only pro that I really have compared to Trunk Club is that you can set up automatic fixes. So you can set it up to where you will automatically receive one every month, every other month, twice a month. And you don't have to go into the app or the website and say like, hey, I want a Stitch Fix, let's set that up. The cons to Stitch Fix is that there is a styling fee. It's $20. So if you decide that you don't want to keep any of the items, which there have been a couple of times when I've felt that way, but felt obligated to keep at least one thing because of that styling fee, I see that as a con. The pro side of that is that the styling fee does go towards the purchase of an item. So say there is a dress in your Stitch Fix for $60, you've already paid your $20 styling fee, so you're only going to pay $40 for it. Another $40, if that makes sense, $60 total. So that's kind of an ambiguous pro or con, really. Another con to Stitch Fix is that you only get 5 items. And that is not necessarily a con until you compare it to Trunk Club. This is what this video is, comparison of Stitch Fix versus Trunk Club, my experience, what I see as pros and cons. So for me, I feel like Stitch Fix, 5 items, it's your percentage chance of things being a hit and or miss are higher. Another con I feel like I have with Stitch Fix is I feel like the styling for me has been a bit of a miss, and I think it might be just limitation of what Stitch Fix has to offer. I think they kind of have their own brand, not really their own brand, but they have their selection of things that they can choose from to send out in Stitch Fixes, and I just think with Trunk Club they have a wider selection, so they're more easily able to tailor it to lots of different styles. Now on to my pros and cons for Trunk Club. I will say that Trunk Club is very fresh, it is exciting, so it'll probably seem like I'm leaning way more that way, but I also can think logically about this and set the emotion aside and know that it is a better deal. So with Trunk Club, there is no styling fee at all. So whenever you get your trunk, you are not obligated to buy any of it. You don't have that guilt of, well, I paid a styling fee, I should probably keep at least one thing, even if I don't really love it. That's been my experience with Stitch Fix. But with Trunk Club, there's no styling fee. That is a huge plus. Another pro of Trunk Club is you get way more items. I have only ever received 5 items from Stitch Fix. That's kind of the standard. With Trunk Club, I received 14 items. That is nearly 3 times the amount of items, which is huge. It gives you a way bigger selection, a greater chance of them hitting something that really suits your style. Another pro with Trunk Club is I feel like you can more specifically tell them what your budget is, whereas Stitch Fix you just pick a range of $50 to $100 or as cheap as possible, or whatever your budget is. You kind of have to stick within that range, where as Stitch Fix I feel like I could tell them a bit more specifically what my budget was, if that makes sense. That could just be made up in my head, but I felt like I had a little bit more say in what my budget was. Another thing with Trunk Club is you talk directly with your stylist, and it's kind of like a messaging system in the app where you kind of introduce yourself and say hey, I have this event coming up. In a sense, Stitch Fix does that as well, but I think the way Trunk Club does it is better because it can go back and forth a bit, whereas Stitch Fix you just you tell them once and then that's it. You don't hear from your stylist until you already receive your fix. Another pro with Trunk Club, at least for me, is you get to review the items before they send them. So my stylist sent me a selection of items and I could go in and review them and say like, hey, this is actually too expensive for me, or I actually don't like this color, and kind of explain to them why you do or don't like something, and then they kind of refresh the trunk and then that's what you get. So for me, I think that is a plus with more communication options with your stylist. I feel like that just allows for better chances of success in them hitting your style. A huge, 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 huge pro to Trunk Club, y'all. I'm like so excited. I can't even. This was like magical to me. I was like, hold up, what? So I'd had my trunk for a day or two and, you know, was kind of mulling over what I was gonna keep, what I wasn't, and was kind of checking the app and going through and kind of reviewing, like saying, no, I'm gonna send this one back. This is why I didn't like it. And I noticed that the prices changed on the items. Like one of the tops that I really wanted to keep, the price went down $17 and I was like, shut the door. And it was one I was like on the fence about, but since the price went down, I was like, well, yeah, I'm gonna keep it now. And you know, I was so excited about that, but I still hadn't said like, yes, these are the two I'm for sure keeping. And today I went in there and the jeans that I wanted to keep went down $22, even more than I thought, actually. Holy crap. So I am so excited that the prices like go down even like as they're sitting in your trunk. But there is a like hesitation. I'm like, what if it's like airfare and then like the next day it goes back up? Now on to my cons for Trunk Club. I actually do have a few, surprisingly. The first one is the temptation to buy it all because you do get so many items. With Trunk Club, I got 2 pieces of jewelry, 2 pairs of shoes, 4 dresses, 4 blouses, and 2 pairs of jeans. That is a ton of stuff, and like I said, a greater opportunity for your stylist to really hit your style. And so with that comes the temptation to keep other things. So if you're not super tight on your budget and you do have a lot of money to spend on clothing, that could be a great thing. But for some people like me who do try to stick to a strict clothing budget, that can be a con, a struggle, a chance to practice self-control. But I'm still putting it in the cons section because it is a con. My other con for Trunk Club is that there is no discount for buying multiple items. Whereas with Stitch Fix, if you decide to keep all 5 items, you get a 20% discount, which is a pretty good deal. But I've never had a fix where I loved everything enough to keep them all. So that's my review of Stitch Fix versus Trunk Club. I think it is safe to say I prefer Trunk Club now. All thanks to one of you guys who suggested it in the comments. I am so thankful for your suggestion and kind of talking me through what it's like. I really appreciate that. So if you guys know of any other clothing subscriptions or any kind of subscription service you would like me to try, please leave it in the comments. I love subscription services, so I would love to hear your thoughts. I've said love like 20 times. Hold the phone. Getting too excited. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful and informative. If you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up. I always appreciate that. I would also love if you would subscribe to my channel so you can see more of my videos. I hope you have a great day and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!